What's going on? It's Jason Heath, and a bow quiver can change your life for the better. A lot of people think these are only for jazz players. I've been using one for decades as a classical player. And today we're going to talk about the advantages, disadvantages, and why you might want to consider having a bow quiver in your life. The main advantage for using a bow quiver is it gives you a convenient place to put your bass bow. And if you don't have a bow quiver, what a lot of people do that I don't recommend is putting your bow in the F hole. Yeah, it looks like a good receptacle, but it's not. And there are all sorts of possible damages that you're going to do to bow and bass if you do that. Other people will put their bow in the bridge, which is another recipe for disaster. And what are you going to do with your bow anyway when you need to play pizzicato? And you have to play pizzicato for a long time as a bass player, sometimes most of the gig. You put it on the music stand, you're just going to knock it over. Put it on your amp, you're going to knock it over. Put it on the floor, you're going to step on it, or someone's going to step on it. But a wonderful solution that was invented years and years ago that many players, myself included, use is a bow quiver. So it's very simple. It's just, I don't even remember where I got this quiver, but I will link up to a similar one or maybe a better one. This is my first and only bow quiver, so it does last quite some time. And it's very simple. You just tie it onto the end pin. I tie right down here around the tailpiece wire, and then I tie on the E string side right here. That seems to work the best. I do see people sometimes tying in one of these holes, but this seems to work for me, and I feel like it covers up the least amount of stuff when I do this. Put the bow there. And if I can land in the quiver successfully, we're good. And you can leave the quiver on when you go take a break on the gig. Sometimes it flops over and I just have to push it back there. And it's great. Why would you not use one? I guess the main reason is it makes you look like a jazzer or somebody less traditional, although I don't know, like bass players don't seem to really care about that, myself included, and that's why we bass players will have pickups on our basses, we'll have quivers on our basses, we'll have duct tape if something's rattling. We just don't care. We're not as fussy traditionally, maybe that's a bad word to use, but I'll use it, as perhaps our upper string colleagues. So I find that this is just super handy, and now obviously, for arco to pits, this is like a breeze to switch over. It's a great place to put your bow on break, and it's just a really elegant way to do things. Some might say that the quiver dampens your sound. That might be true, but lots of things can dampen your sound. I have bridge adjusters. They may dampen my sound. They may take away from some sound, but the practicality of them outweighs the possible side effects. I've done a whole video on bridge adjusters, which I will link up to here. Sitting on a stool can dampen the sound. It often does dampen the sound. I've done videos on that and possible solutions to that, which I will also link up to here. And could this dampen the sound? Maybe, but it's being held by these two cords. I just don't hear or notice any impact. You may not have seen this on my bass in recent videos. I think I took it off sometime during COVID and I just never got around to putting it back on, but I don't know, I think I might leave it on for a while. The one danger if you use a quiver for a long time and then you take it off is you do have the urge to throw your bow tip first onto the floor. I do not recommend that as a way to keep your bow in good working order. And if you want to learn more about gear on the bass, check out this video we've got linked up.